A very good day to you and our viewers at home. Of course, NUM as well as NUMSA have just concluded their joint media briefing in which they were just highlighting some of the topical issues that are quite burning. And of course, this comes after their meeting with Eskom this previous Thursday that ended up with an alleged walkout. But of course, the unions are stern in saying that that is not necessarily what happened. Instead, it was Eskom that said that they had reached a deadlock. Thus, the unions are saying that they are not going to back down. Instead, they're resolute in calling for a wage increase for their members as well as benefits. And of course, they will be exploring all legal avenues to ensure that they can bring Eskom to the negotiating table rather. And of course, these include them taking Eskom to the CCMA. If that's not possible, they are still continuing with their calls to negotiate directly with the board of Eskom. And of course, they're also calling on a meeting between themselves as well as the Minister of Energy, Jeff Radebe, or of course the President of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. But of course, right now I am joined by the Secretary General of NUMSA, Mr. Irvin Jim, who will of course give us more clarity as to what exactly is going on right now and what their plan of action going forward is going to be. A very good day to you. Thank you for joining us at home.
Thank you.
It seems quite interesting that at this point Eskom has not come to the table and is offering you something that you would be pleased by. What exactly are you planning to do now that Eskom has said that they will of course be offering a 0% increase?
Well, we would have sent both Eskom board as NUMSA and the CEO a very clear position that basically reject the fact that the Eskom board would have mandated Eskom management to give a zero increase to workers, which we regard as an insult, as a provocation of the worst kind. And we're obviously not going to let it lie down. We're taking up an issue with that. We would have met yesterday with NUM leadership. We invited solidarity. They would have written back to us to communicate their position that they are declaring a dispute of interest. We have been provoked. However, we've taken a conscious decision that we'll follow the law. We're declaring a dispute of interest. Workers will be picketing. We'll have a big picketing on this coming Thursday in the form which could take a form of a march, but it will be a picket at Megawatt Park. And once that dispute of interest is consolidated and we receive a certificate of non-resolution, we might be left with no option but to tool down. But we're not going to take anybody by surprise. We will meet with the board to make things very clear that we reject that they can act recklessly. I mean, from where we're sitting, both Eskom board and its management, they were the one who jumped and supported the Minister of Energy when he have done something which we regard as criminal from where we're sitting, because it is basically a terrible thing that you can sign IPPs that have got a potential to destroy about 92,000 jobs. This is from studies that Eskom would have sanctioned should these IPPs be connected. And these IPPs are basically destroying the market of Eskom. And Eskom says, and you can't turn around and then say, look, you're not going to give workers increases when you actually spend money. There were lawyers that went into court to support the signing of the IPPs. And as a union, we're not against energy mix, and we have been consistent that we need just transition. We need a socially owned renewable sector, which must be under worker control. What we reject with these IPPs and this quick signing, which in our view leave much to be desired, is that they are very expensive. I mean, we just invested about close to 250 billion in the capital build project, both in Medupi and Kusile. We've got excess capacity. We can deliver a kilowatt for 32 cents. These IPPs that the minister is signing with his mind cost R2.14, and Eskom sell at a loss of about 80 cents. But IPPs are guaranteed to get their money, but you cannot say the same with Eskom, because Eskom is selling at a loss, and secondly, what it passes to the consumers cannot be guaranteed that it will be paid back. As you know, that municipalities are not paying, but also communities. There is Nyoka, many people are not working, and we know that the National Treasury is not increasing allocation to those particular municipalities. Who's the victim here? The victim here is Eskom, is its workers, and our point is that workers who work for Eskom come from communities. The decision that the board and everybody is making should be basically be honorable. They should be advancing their fiduciary duties. We think that this decision taken by the board and by the minister is reckless. It is reckless, basically, because it is going to destroy Eskom. And we think all this is done to prepare ground to privatize Eskom. And if Eskom is privatized, it is out of the public hands as public utility. It means that the electricity tariff that is worsening will continue to worsen, and both the economy and our people will suffer. That's something that NUMSA reject. So it's a comprehensive challenge that we are confronted with, and we will going to do everything to push and make sure that workers get their deserved increases, but also other demands such as housing allowance that workers have mandated us. We have got a very firm mandate. However, we know that negotiations is give and take.
And now you have a planned picket outside Megawatt this coming Thursday. Could you just please walk us through what exactly the plan of action for Thursday is? And if, of course, that does not result in Eskom deciding to come to the negotiating table again, what will then happen? Will you continue to have strike action or pickets rather?
Well, we have got parallel processes that are taking place simultaneously. Today, we're declaring a dispute of interest, which will be referred as CCMA. That dispute will be conciliated, and at an appropriate time, we expect that a certificate of non-resolution will be issued. We know that some people are adopting a particular attitude, and that attitude is Eskom is an essential service. We're taking a different view altogether. We're saying there is a Labor Relations Act, there's a constitution in this country, which is why we march on the 25th of April to say no to those right-wing labor bills that are attacking hard-won gains of workers. For instance, from where we stand, for all workers, a right to strike in this country, as things stand, is a constitutional right. And therefore, nobody, in our view, can stop Eskom workers having done everything, which is why we're saying we're not going to take anybody by surprise. We'll meet with the board, we'll meet with the minister, we'll meet with the president, and if they are not coming to the party, we will make a clarion call that they must tell the nation that they are leaving workers with absolutely no option, and once workers receive that certificate, it will be within their workers' right to embark on a legal protected strike from where we stand. And obviously Eskom will not agree with what we're saying, but we don't agree with them too, and therefore the lights will switch off. So people must appreciate that that's what will happen, which is why we are not in a rush. We're very slow, yet we're very fast. We're engaging with NUM. This press conference was historic today. We are more confident that Solidarity as well will come to the party because they also declared a dispute of interest. They are going to embark on pickets. We think this is a historical moment where workers at Eskom, unions at Eskom must set aside all prejudice and unite and defend hard-won gains of workers, improve their condition, and these very same people who have got guts to put fingers in the eyes of workers and tell them that you don't deserve any increase. How much are the board fees that Eskom board is paying itself? I mean, Hadebe, how much is he being paid as the CEO of Eskom? The cabinet that is sitting and Minister Jeff Hadebe, who's keen to sign and destroy jobs of workers, how much are they paying themselves? Where do they negotiate? They don't. They take a decision and impose increases to ensure that they continue with the life which is driven by exorbitant salaries that parliamentarians are paid, and the poor worker of Eskom who's faced with VAT, who's faced with petrol price, whose food inflation. I mean, the basket of food now is completely not affordable, and they have got guts to tell them that you don't deserve any increase, which is why we must work with them. They must come and tell workers that if you go on strike, we will dismiss you. They must dismiss them. For us as workers, as unions, we sometimes stand together with workers and perish with them. But what we're not going to allow is to allow the jobs of Eskom workers who support their families, their immediate extended families, to be ruined by opportunism, by selfish greed of individuals who stand to benefit out of these IPPs that are creating no jobs for the people of this country. In fact, the victims is going to be rural towns. I mean, if you go to Mpumalanga, if you go to Steve Shwete municipality, if you go anywhere else in the country, there are rural towns and municipalities that depended solely its economy at the back of those power stations. If you switch them off, you make those rural towns and rural municipalities to be ghost towns. That's what GIA have done. Go to all homelands, what used to be homelands in this country. I mean, GIA basically reduced allocation, clustered pockets of poor municipalities, and poor councillors are expected to create miracles that they can deliver a better life when the National Treasury is not increasing the allocation. From where we stand, we reject these austerity measures. What this country needs is an expansionary budget, is a government that is decisive, that is prepared to intervene in the economy, to nationalize all commanding heights of the economy, to nationalize all our minerals under worker control. At the back of that, champion a job-led industrial strategy. From where we're sitting, this new dawn is hollow. In fact, what it is very clear about is to take hard-won gains of workers and to attack the working class. That's where we stand. On Thursday, we will obviously, in all Eskom plants, Eskom power stations, workers will be picketing. The biggest picketing will take place at Megawatt Park.
Thank you very much. Well, there you have it. NUMSA, as well as its affiliate unions, remain resolute in that they are going to champion workers' rights. In fact, they are going to take every single measure possible to ensure that they can get that wage increase for their members, as well as all the benefits that the workers have been seeking. Over to you.